More protest against police brutality. Good morning, I'm Miranda Khan, and this story tops your Newsmax Now update. In New York, they took to the Brooklyn Bridge during the evening rush. They blocked traffic and scuffled with police. 2 officers were reportedly hurt. Things also got a little rough in San Francisco. That's where protesters and police got into a bit of a shoving match at City Hall. No arrests reported. About 30 protests were staged all across the country. And we're now seeing some shocking video of police in Arizona taking down a man armed with a high-powered rifle.
Oh!
That's from a Tucson suburb in February. The suspect, hit by the cruiser, fired off 1 shot.
The guy is not obeying. The guy has a high-powered rifle. The guy has already cranked off 1 round, and the guy is now very near to a heavily populated businesses.
Mario Valencia survived being hit. He's suspected in a string of crimes and faces several felony charges. Well, very different views today on the move by President Obama to pull Cuba off the list of state sponsors of terrorism. Across Cuba, the decision's being cheered. Cubans have called it an insult to their national pride, but ask Cuban Americans in Florida and you'll get a very different reaction.
Obama, I think, is a sympathizer of the communist regimes of Cuba and of the enemies of the United States.
And in Washington, Republican lawmakers are blasting the move. House Speaker John Boehner says it's just one more example of the president focusing more on befriending our enemies than helping our allies. It's a somber April 15th in Boston. 2 years ago since the bombing that killed 3 people and left more than 200 hurt.
Well, for everybody else, it's been, probably a long 2 years. For us, it seems as though it's, just yesterday.
Liz Lorden's son, Paul, and JP each lost a leg in that attack. Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, seen here, was convicted on all 30 counts. He now faces the death penalty later this month. Congress is going to get the power to review a nuclear deal with Iran. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee yesterday unanimously passed the bill, and the White House has lifted the threat of a veto. Under the pressure, Congress will have a month to review any deal, and during that review, the president will be blocked from lifting sanctions against Iran. Flags all around the country are flying at half-staff today, marking 150 years since the death of Abraham Lincoln. Yesterday, at Ford's Theater, it was a very interesting day with reenactors. That was your latest Newsmax Now update. More coming your way in a half hour.